This week marks 1 year of Taliban rule in Afghanistan after the U.S. fully withdrew troops. Lives forever changed on this week 1 year ago. As 13 WAM's Carla Rogner reports, some of the families who fled Afghanistan have found refuge here in Rochester. Carla?
Yeah, Jenny, a case manager at Catholic Charities was forced to leave the country with his father when the Taliban took over. They're now looking back on the changes they've experienced over the last year and staying optimistic for their future in New York State. In his family's home in Pittsford, Sana Jan Ahmadi says he's feeling safe.
We have lots of hope. So America is a very good country for refugees. So we are working right now. I'm feeling very nice people.
It's been about 1 year since he and his father, Mohammed, packed up their life in Kabul, Afghanistan.
So it was very difficult. So we don't know what will be happen with us. So we was worried about our life. So maybe they will kill us.
Sana's brother Yama helped arrange the journey. He had moved to the U.S. about 10 years ago. His mother Fauzia joining him in 2019. Yama worked for the U.S. military as a translator. So when the Taliban took over, he knew he needed to act fast to get his family out of the country. Sana and his father managed to make it through the chaos at the Kabul airport. After several days there, they eventually got on some flights and made it to Fort McCoy, Wisconsin, where Yama picked them up and brought them to Rochester. The escape made even more urgent by Mohammed's bladder cancer.
My father, he wanted to say thanks a lot from America to save my life. They treat me in the hospital very nice.
In Afghanistan, Sana was a doctor working in the emergency room. Now he has a job in Rochester, helping to resettle Afghan families like his own.
I came new to the United States, so I'm feeling when the refugees coming to the United States, what they need. What is their hopes, because I'm feeling them.
Despite the circumstances, the Ahmadi family is thankful for the chance at starting over.
We have a lot of hope, so America's dream country.
Moving here to take refuge was the Ahmadis' first time in this country. The family does have temporary protective status to stay in the U.S. for 2 years, and they have applied and interviewed for asylum status that would allow them to stay here for good.
The start of a new school year means the need for new school supplies. But with the cost of everything still on the rise, those new supplies can really eat into a family's budget. As Dalton Williams reports, some parents will be spending more this year than ever before. Dalton.
Yes, according to the National Retail Federation, parents are expected to spend on average $864 on school supplies, and that's roughly more than $15 when compared to 2021. But some Hilton parents won't have to spend a dime. The Hilton School District is taking a big weight off many parents' shoulders. Hilton Superintendent Dr. Casey Kosoric says they're using state funds to give school supplies to all 4,500 students.
Whether you had one child or a family of 3 or 4 or even 5 children, the cost of school supplies can be a huge impact on the household budget.
Pens, papers, notebooks, organizers, and other everyday school supplies for students are all here, ready to be distributed. Jody Kent has 3 school-aged kids, all in the Hilton School District. Kent says she was pleasantly surprised to hear she wouldn't have to buy any school supplies this year.
Yeah, we don't have to spend that money. It's a good savings in our pocket that we can put towards groceries or something else because everything is getting expensive.
The superintendent says this is a perfect way to help out parents and make sure all students have the chance to succeed.
So if they're a family that may be struggling financially, now we're in a place where everybody can have what they need to feel good.
Kent says she hopes this helps set an example for other school districts and urges parents to get out and help bring that change to their district.
I hope other school districts will pick it up and follow what Hilton has done. I think the parents can show up to board meetings and start telling them what they've seen from other districts.
Kosoric says giveaways like this could continue for the future, but says nothing is concrete at this time.
It's impacted by violence, young lives turning to violence. We have witnessed that this summer at Rochester as community leaders try to deal with its impact. And tonight, 13 WAM's Jacqueline DePierre shares the story of one young man who has been both a victim and an offender.
Isaiah Ficklin says his life first started to get off track after losing his father to gun violence.
My life changed drastically. I was in the gym every day, but once my pops died, it was like I didn't really care anymore.
The 23-year-old says basketball used to be his outlet, but all that changed when he began running with the wrong crowd.
I started making money and got sidetracked, being around the wrong kids, wrong people who didn't care for my well-being.
Last July, things took a violent turn when Ficklin was shot on Rauber Street. And then, 4 months later, he was arrested for carrying an illegal handgun.
I didn't carry a gun to hurt anybody or to be a menace in the streets. I literally carried my gun for protection. Like, it wasn't to scare anybody. It wasn't to do nothing violent. It was to protect myself.
Ficklin is sharing his story with 13 Wham and Karen Iglesia of Primetime 585, a community advocacy program for youth in hopes of deterring teens from a life of crime.
The platform they have, they definitely help a lot of kids. I wish that I would have stuck with it a little bit longer, because the age would have been in college somewhere hooping.
He says having a strong support system is crucial for staying on the right path.
It definitely starts at home. Like, that love you get, if you don't have it at home, you go searching for it elsewhere. You start surrounding yourself with people who just like you, who don't have that, and then you find yourself out here doing anything. And then when it comes time to get in trouble, you by yourself and nobody's around.
Iglesia has her own message for Ficklin, who has children of his own now.
Hope that you come back and you don't repeat that cycle, and you are in their lives, and you are going to their games, and you go play catch with them.
She's been working with District Attorney Sandra Dorley, advocating on Ficklin's behalf.
And I asked her to look at the case. Let's come together. Let's work together for this young man, and let's see if we could give him another opportunity.
Now, Ficklin could serve up to 15 years behind bars on the weapons charge, but that could be less depending on those discussions with the DA prior to his sentencing in November.